Good morning, degenerates, and welcome to a very somber episode of Boring Crypto IO, the place where I read you the boring crypto news every morning, Monday through Friday, just so you don't have to. My name is Not Important, and I'm your host. Let's get into the news. Curve pool imbalance triggers USDT depeg concerns. Tether CTO calls it FUD. U.S. prosecutors say SBF will be tried on original 8 criminal charges for now. And Voyager app set to reopen for customer withdrawals as soon as June 20th. If you have money on there, get it out as soon as they let you withdraw. I would. Yeah. Onto the market. It is a red day, guys. Current market cap. Let me refresh this. 1.018 trillion. Bitcoin dominance 47.6%. ETH dominance 19.4%. Gwei at 19. Get you an ETH transaction. Yeah. FOMC meeting. Dovish hawkish? Yeah, I don't know. If you watched the Fed Chair Jerome Powell came out and said that they're going to pause interest rate hikes right now, but then finished up with saying that that doesn't mean that they're not going to continue raising interest rates for the next few years to hopefully get us down to quote-unquote 2%, which I don't think is possible unless they completely break things, which, again, we've talked about is something that needs to happen, but I think it's like a bluff. But with that being said, markets didn't respond well. Markets don't like uncertainty, right? So if they said, let's say it this way, if Jerome Powell came out and said, we're going to pause interest rates and just be done with the interest rate hikes and kind of lift at that and say, like, we'll make a decision in the future of what we're going to do. I mean, that would be good short-term, terrible long-term. Kick the can down the road kind of thing to the next administration. Long term, just more dollar devaluation, but in the short term, like I said, there's lots of opportunities to make more money, especially in crypto and traditional market space. But it was like a catch-22. He said they're pausing, but they plan to continue interest rate hikes, which is like the market doesn't know what's going to happen. Right. And we didn't respond well. I mean, I hope that made sense. If it doesn't, by all means, go ahead and ask me more questions in the comments down below. I'll try and get them answered. But it's just it's basically a giant gray area, if that makes sense. And again, the market did not like that. So what happened? Well, we tanked, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But right now, current market cap and things like that, Bitcoin down 3.9 on the daily, ETH down 6.1 daily. Supposedly Tether depegged, but 99.82 isn't necessarily a depeg. And I mean, you see this stuff all the time. We'll look at Tether as well. I think it's FUD. It sounds like a bunch of BS, but we're going to look at it. BNB down 6, XRP 6.32, Cardano taking a hard hit. Side note too, here's the thing, risk reward is always something that we always talk about, that I always talk about on this channel. With Cardano getting back down below 30, the risk to reward on Cardano is heavy right now. Look, Cardano ain't going if you know anything about Cardano, it would be really hard for me to think that it's going anywhere. The crypto space is never say never, right? If you've been here a while, you've learned that. But the odds of Cardano going away are very slim, right? I mean, very, very slim. Again, I'm loading up. It's just kind of the whole I'm getting at. Like, if you're looking for risk reward ratios, the fact that Cardano is gotten down 20% in the last week, that's an easy decision for me to make. I'm loading up. I'm hoping it gets back down to 20. If it gets back down to 20, I'll sell a kidney. Like, I'm selling everything I own. And that's an over-exaggeration, but I think you get my point. Moving on. 3s, 6s, 7s, 8s on the daily across the board. The weekly, I think, tells the bigger story. 12s, 15s, 20s, 13s, things like that, and a little bit higher. A 20%, 25% pullback on any of these blue chip top 20s, top 30s. They're looking sexy, man. That's HBAR actually did pretty good, only 10% on the week. But yeah, man, this is where people should buy. Now, I would say wait for potentially a local bottom, because who knows? We're going to talk about that with Bitcoin in just a second, but we could potentially go lower. But again, not bad to start scaling at these levels, in my opinion. Again, this isn't financial advice, nor am I a financial advisor, in case anyone important that could sue me is watching. But I don't know. I'm just a random dude in a house, in a room, making YouTube videos. Crypto is highly volatile. Trade at your own risk. Do your own research. This isn't even a trading channel, and I'm a terrible trader. So, but what I'm looking at are some really good entry levels. Outside of that, guys, let's just go ahead and move on. We'll look at Bitcoin real quick. So, Bitcoin 4 hour. Descending wedge, descending channel-ish. It's more wedge-ish now at this point, but we kind of broke to the downside. I don't even know, because this could easily be based on, I mean, you could adjust this just a little bit. We're still inside the channel. We got a touch here, almost a touch there, touch here. So either we broke out just a little bit like that, or we're still in this channel. Channel's still in play. But outside of patterns, this is the big concern. We lost 25.2, and that's what everybody's worried about right now. And equally so, it's not a bad thing to be concerned about. 25.2 is what everybody's been looking at for quite some time, almost to the point of it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know what I mean? Like, if you're a big whale or some big fund and you want to counter trade the market, and you're watching all these influencers and people that trade that aren't whales, but have substantial influence on the market based on their captive audience, and you hear everybody calling for doom and gloom if we break 25.2, I mean, they could easily make that happen and manipulate us below 25.2, which may be what we're seeing, or it's just a response to the market. Now, going into the weekend, who knows what could happen? What I am seeing right here is this. These blood diamonds on the 4 hour have been playing out significantly. So, blood diamond, big dip. Blood diamond, big dip. Blood diamond, big dip. But what I'm also seeing with these blood diamonds and these dips are blood diamond, dip, bounce. Blood diamond, dip, bounce. All right? So, if we get this bounce, my last level of my last resort, I guess you'd call it, is this 24.3 down here. I'm looking to see if we're going to get down there. If we lose this, it could get ugly real fast. So keep your eyes on that 24.3 level. But, like I said, if this pattern is this, and we get this bounce, we have to get above this 25.2 and flip this back into support. And then we instantly have to get back to 25.4, in my opinion, flip that to support. And then we're back. Nothing's changed. We're back into this potential sideways movement, potential downwards, descending wedge, channel wedge, whatever you want to call it. And we're just playing the game again. But that's really it, guys. That's what I'm saying. But again, who the fuck am I? I don't know shit. But don't get too freaked out. Discounted coins are always a good thing, you know. Look, there's something I learned when I got in at the top of 2017 and didn't know. I mean, I still don't know my ass from a hole in the ground, but didn't know anything. I wished. I looked back and wished I had a second chance. Wish I had a second chance. Wish I had a second chance. When the last bull cycle kicked off, all I thought was, ugh, I wish I had more in. I wish I had more in. I wish I had more in. So there's something, and it's super cliche to say, I know, buy low, sell high. You know, it's everybody says things like that, but the reality is, these are your second chances. And I know it's scary. I know it's terrifying. And you're afraid it's going to go lower, and it might. But that's where the fortunes are made. The fortunes are made when there's blood in the streets, guys. That's just the reality of it. So, something to think about. I'm not scared. The question is just, where's the bottom, right? How far are we going to go? Keep an eye on charts, look for trend reversals, things like that, to potentially start scaling in. Don't go all in, ever. Don't. But scaling in is, on these dips like this, is never a bad idea. So, 24.332, we'll just call it 24.3. Keep an eye on that level. That is what I'm looking at for going lower and significantly staying low for quite some time. Outside of that, we gotta get above this 25.2 and flip, and then we're still playing the game after that. All right, moving on to the news. I think I've rambled enough and talked slowly and somberly because it's a rough day for people. I get it. I don't even look at my portfolio on days like this. I just look at what I should buy. On to the news. Curve pool. Oh, sorry. Let's look at Tether real quick before I even get into this story. Hold on. Let's just do, yeah, we'll do Coinbase. Why not? Tether to USD on Coinbase. Oh my God, look at that. It looks crazy. It's down super low. No, it's not. I want you guys to see something. This is a 4-hour. Look at all these dips. Ooh, what just happened? Look at all these runs. Like, guys. Like, look at this nonsense. Like, what? Look at all of these giant dips, guys. Let go. Right here. What is this? Oh my God, Tether's going to 0. It's FUD, guys. This happens all the time. It's just boring right now. There's not a lot of news going on. So, I wouldn't call this depegging. There's always fluctuations close to around $1. It's 99.801. Over here, this is technically a depeg. Just because it went up doesn't mean that's not a depeg. It is depegged from $1. $1.00442. Okay. Well, there you go, guys. It went higher. Like, this is just, all I'm saying is, take this shit with a grain of salt. Don't get freaked out. Tether, I don't think is going anywhere. It'd be really hard to think. Like, I'm not gonna fudge you guys. Like, it'd be hard for me to believe that Tether is gonna completely depeg. It's too. They just printed $1 billion. They just minted $1 billion in Tether. Relax. Are there big giant whales probably shorting it right now? 100%. And making money off it? Yeah, why not? That doesn't mean it's depegged. Like, look at this. Look at this chart. This isn't even daily. This is a 4-hour. This is just a few weeks ago. Let go of the fucking FUD, guys. Stop letting people fucking control your emotions. That is my main point. All right, moving on to the news. We are going to read about it because I'm curious to see why they say this may or may not have happened. And I think it's informative for you guys as well. Stablecoin pool ideally has weightage of 33.3% of USDT, USDC, and DAI. However, on June 15th, the USDT weightage rose about 70% in the pool. Tether stablecoin slightly deviated from its United States dollar peg on June 15th due to an imbalance in Curve's 3 pool. The price of USDT fell by 0.3% to around 99.7 as its weightage in the Curve 3 pool increased to over 70% from the usual 33.1. Curve's 3 pool is a stable coin pool for decentralized finance holdings a massive amount of liquidity in the 3 top stablecoins, USDT, USDC, and DAI. A significant rise in weightage of a particular stablecoin in the pool indicates heavy selling of that asset. Yet, look at what we're looking at. This isn't that crazy. With USDT weightage at around 73.8%, traders are increasingly selling USDT for DAI or USDC. USDT concentration in Curve's 3 pool previously exceeded 50% in November of 2022 at the time of the FTX collapse. The main cause of the imbalance was attributed to a whale address called CZ Sam Sun that borrowed 31.5 million USDT and swapped it for USDC, leading to a slight deviation from USDT's US dollar peg value. With the help of 17,000 ETH and 14,000 staked ETH as collateral, the address converted and borrowed some into USDC using 1inch network. Yeah, this looks like just whale manipulation weird shit, man. I mean, I am not smart enough to understand what the fuck all this means. But when someone's playing a game like this with a lot of money and moving it around and bouncing it from stablecoin to stablecoin, it's just whale games, guys. The borrower then made deposits to Aave V2 and V3 totaling $10 million and $21 million respectively. The borrower then took out a USDT loan of $12 million from V3 and deposited to V2. Approximately 20 minutes after CZ Samsung borrowed USDT, another address mortgaged 52,200 staked ETH through Aave version 2 and borrowed 50 million USDC using USDT-USDC price difference arbitrage. The slight deviation in USDT price helped the USDC-USDT trading pair on Binance to rise to a new yearly high of $0.0034. USDT accounted for 73.79% of Curve's 3 pool. DAI accounted for 13.05%, and USDC accounted for 13.16%. Tether's chief technology officer, Paul Ardoino, I'm so bad with names, took Twitter to assure the crypto community that the Depegs scare is nothing to worry about and is ready to redeem any amount. Later, Ardoino also shared a FUD meme and addressed the market rumors around Tether's Depeg. Guys, seriously, you've got to get your freaking emotions in check with this crypto Twitter bullshit. Everybody, like, I hate to say this, man, but so many people on crypto Twitter are like lemmings. You see like 3 or 4 people talk about something that have a good following, and all of a sudden you all flock or migrate in whatever direction that person's talking about. You got to start thinking for yourself. You've got to get some kind of control over these emotions. And I don't mean anyone listening to this YouTube channel in general. I just mean the herd, the mass amounts of people on crypto Twitter. It's really bad. Yes, exactly. I even seen this meme before I even started talking about what I was just saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like, people eat this shit up. Stop it. Stop it. Grow up. Get control of your shit. The latest stablecoin Depeg scare comes just a couple of months after USDC Depeg that caused havoc on many investors' portfolios. USDC Depeg below 90.9. God, stop it. Below 90 cents. In March, as Circle confirmed that it had over $3 billion stuck in Silicon Valley Bank, although Circle managed to gather enough capital to repeg the USDC to $1 within 2 days, the panic triggered by the depegging led to many traders exiting USDC at a loss. Stop doing that shit. Stop selling at a loss. Now, mind you, this situation was significantly bigger than what we're talking about right here. Some whale fucking games people playing. That's a 10% depeg, or 10%, yeah. 10 cent, 10% depeg. That's huge for a stablecoin. Not some tenths of a penny. Relax, y'all. All right, moving on. U.S. prosecutors say SBF will be tried on original 8 criminal charges for now. Department of Justice lawyers said the decision came following litigation filed by the FTX co-founder in the Bahamas protesting the additional charges, which could be lengthy. The criminal trial for FTX co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried will be going ahead with the 8 charges he was initially pinned for by the United States prosecutors, at least for now. In a June 14th court filing, prosecutors in the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, wrote a letter to District Judge Lewis Kaplan saying they would proceed to try Bankman-Fried on the 8 charges they levied against him in December of 2022. The DOJ lawyers cited a motion filed by Bankman-Fried in the Bahamas, who argued that many of the 13 charges he faced were not in the original indictment, which was basis for his extradition from the country. As this is likely to be a lengthy process, the prosecutors wrote they're prepared to proceed to trial as scheduled on the counts contained in the original indictment. It now appears that litigation of that motion will take some time and may not be resolved until near or even after the trial date. On June 14th, the Supreme Court of the Bahamas said Bankman-Fried must be given the opportunity to formally challenge the new charges before the country can agree to them. Following Bankman-Fried's extradition, DOJ unsealed an additional 4 charges in February relating to fraud and fraud conspiracy charges, along with an additional charge in March alleging bribes to Chinese officials. Bankman-Fried is the founder and former CEO of crypto exchange FTX. We all know this. He was initially charged in December of 2022 in connection with his management of the failed exchange. The exchange suffered a liquidity crisis in November of 2022, leading to its bankruptcy shortly thereafter. FTX is estimated to owe creditors over $3 billion. Prosecutors allege that Bankman-Fried commingled customer funds and misled investors about FTX risk management practices, leading to losses for investors and customers. Caroline Ellison, former CEO of sister company Alameda Research, and FTX co-founder Gary Wang have both pleaded guilty to fraud charges in connection with the exchange's collapse. However, Bankman-Fried has claimed that management mistakes and not fraud caused the collapse. Nothing new. It's all bullshit, guys. Sorry, wasted your time. Last but not least, and I'll get you guys out of here, Voyager app set to reopen for customers, withdrawals as soon as June 20th. Customers will soon be able to load up the Voyager app and see how much will be available for withdrawals. Get your money off of that shit. Cryptocurrency brokerage Voyager Digital is preparing to reopen its app and allow customers to finally withdraw their funds. Nearly 1 year after it filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, Voyager bankruptcy plan administrator Paul Hagee said in a June 14th court filing that around June 15th, which is today, the Voyager app would be updated to show the amount available for withdrawal, and estimated that the withdrawal period would start somewhere between June 20th and July 5th. The bankruptcy plan was first approved in court on May 17th and will result in customers initially receiving 35.72% of their claims, ouch, by withdrawing crypto through the Voyager app or in cash after 30 days. Sorry, guys, but I would take it and run. Within the filing, Hagee also noted that bankrupt crypto hedge fund Three Arrows Capital still owes Voyager $65 million. So while the first tranche of withdrawals allows just over 35% of customers' funds to be withdrawn, the primary focus will shift to recovering additional assets that can be distributed to creditors once the initial distribution is completed. Additionally, an extra $445 million of customer funds could also be made available to creditors pending a final resolution of Alameda Research's preference claim against Voyager, which is not expected to happen until at least mid-September of 2023. After originally filing for bankruptcy on July 5th, Voyager submitted 2 prior bankruptcy plan proposals, but both have fallen through. The first of these was to the United States arm of FTX, FTX US, but the $1.4 billion deal fell through after FTX filed for bankruptcy. Subsequently, a $1 billion deal with Binance US also fell through after it backed out of an April 25th, citing a hostile and uncertain regulatory climate in the United States. 35, what was it, 0.6%? Where is it? Where the fuck are you? 35.72. Look, I say get it out. Don't wait for more. Just, yeah. Jesus, don't leave it on there. Just get out. Get your money. It's rough. All right, let's look at Bitcoin one more time before I send you guys packing. Son of a... Here's... this is why I want to extend this down. See how these candles are climbing down? It really looks like they're riding this trend line still, as opposed to doing something wonky like this or like this and with no trend. They're basically what looks like it's happening. We're fighting for 25. I think 25 is definitely a significant psychological level. If we flip 25 to support, I would be more bullish that we can flip 25 to support. Again, just keep your eye on it, guys. Outside of that, that is all I have for you this morning. If you guys enjoy what I do here every morning, Monday through Friday on BoringCrypto.io, the content I provide, please, by all means, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for notifications, watch, like, and share the videos on all of your social platforms. It helps. And I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm out of here.